Well, still going on, but getting better. Yesterday, oh, and then today. Today I went down to Walmart 62. They were following me again. I went in and used the bathroom. Some little kid looked at me and said, Karen's will knows they beat you. Gotta have him. Okay. Well, I went into the optical center and I was looking at glasses and I was talking about the prices with a girl, and I started rambling about my ex-husband's girlfriend having them kick in the door and stalk me, and how they photoshopped a shower scene to make me look weird, and date rape, drugged me, and lied they had sodium pentothal reports and I had bruises and I was getting sick. She's like, they're dangerous and I hope they find them and arrest them. She said, that's creepy. And that she said, they're dangerous. I said, I know they're dangerous. And, we did the police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life and they have to speak to everyone before they start. Yes. Okay. All right. Uh, and she's like, I know that. And she's like, well, at least the sheriffs would have had to come out and question you about something. They couldn't even be in there without that. And I said, I know. And it's the threat of life cases only. They can't just break in and stalk you. It's the right to privacy, the right to remain quiet, the right to an attorney, right to a fair court trial, right not to be mistreated. The right to privacy alone keeps them out. She's like, I know that. I said, they're using people's low IQs. And they can't date, rape, drug you, and lie. They have sodium pentothal reports, and you have bruises and get sick on drinks. And I told her how I'd work out in the yard, and I get dizzy for a second. And then hours would pass, and then I'd have bruises, and I'd wake up with bruises. She's like, they're dangerous. And I said, they're very dangerous. And I said, and sick. The thought they were watching me in the shower and then photoshopped a shower scene. And I told her about all those people telling on them. And she's like, good, I'm glad they told on them. I said, me too. And I told her how they kicked in my door within 6 days. After the third day, where my ex got mad, hit with a boar in the face, and ran off to the store and met the Looney Tunes. And on the 6th day, somebody kicked in my door, and he's like, don't report it. Oh, it's probably another realtor passing out keys. She's like, no, they can't pass out keys. I said, no, they have to be in a lockbox. I said, I can't believe I fell for that. She's like, yeah, they can't. They can't have them. It's illegal. Well, they're out there. Well, I went to leave, and some of my protector light guys show up. We know what they did. No one better say a word. Okay? Well, they're out there driving around, so I start playing my statement from last week, rambling through everything, including the torture. Well, I had to step outside my car because I almost threw up. And I couldn't breathe. And I had to stand outside of my car and go, breathe, 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 breathe. Okay? I get home in that. And I've been not feeling well all day today. And I go down and I get myself something for dinner. Okay, I come back, and one of those weird neighbors that Steve was calling him, lying to him about the shower scene in the room, and that they were going to say something to me. They're using people's low IQ. He's a wanted stalker from the Massillon police. He's one of retired Judge Pete's freaky friends that helped kick in the door and stalked me and then photoshopped a shower scene and date rape drugged me. And people say he was raping me. Well, that would explain the weird dreams of waking up in a foggy haze and a man walking across my room, laying down, holding me in the room, going black. It was Steve raping me. I Googled what date rape drugs are injectable. There's quite a few, and they take effect in less than a minute. So where he'd stab me, I'd wake up in a foggy haze, and then the room would go black. I'd already been with Dave, so I didn't know I was being violated. That's not funny. that my ex-husband that was trying to have me murdered before runs into a retired judge that thinks he can pay everybody off. And him and his freaky friends can kick in my door, stalk me, Photoshop shower scenes being assholes. And then that weird Steve can break in and rape me. He's already a wanted stalker. Him and that Eric. From the Maslin and the Canton police is wanting that Eric. These people make fun of me. How much money is it worth it to help some stalkers go after their victim? Nothing they have is admissible. They're stalkers. And the Canton police already know where all these people have told on them for date rape, drugging me, and telling me say crazy stuff, and photoshopping shower scenes in the other room to make you look weird. Yeah, that they did that, and they're looking for them for doing it. Well, and more than 10. And these low-life people take their money to say stuff to me. How much money is a human life worth? They think it's funny helping stalk. They're lucky I don't call 911 on them for being part of it. A police officer say, do you know that Steve's number? Because he's a wanted stalker. Huh? These people lied they had a court order to watch me. You don't get court orders to watch somebody. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life, and they have to speak to everyone before they start, or it's abuse and misconduct, and it goes into the right of privacy. It's a legal search and seizure. That's why the Portage County Sheriff's denied all involvement or knowledge of it. If any of them were involved, they're not going to admit to it because it's going to be a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. Because you have a right to privacy, a right to remain quiet, a right to a legal representation, a right to a fair court trial, and a right not to be mistreated. They are not going to say that we broke in somebody's home that had just been up there 6 days and not moved in because Dave met a retired judge's daughter, and we started date rape drugging this poor wife and photoshopping shower scenes being assholes and trying to scare her out of everything in life. We're not going to say we want life in federal. And no sitting judge is going to say, I broke all these constitutional laws, and I put it in writing in a court system that I don't care what the Constitution says, that people have a right to privacy, they have a right to remain quiet, they have a right to an attorney, a right to a right to a fair court trial. They don't have a right to bail and bond, and they don't have a right to be mistreated. No sitting judge is going to say that. And no officer is going to say he's breaking constitutional laws either. It's at the minimum of 5 years. Yeah, and then there's million-dollar lawsuits. No one's going to say they broke constitutional laws. They lie to people. Some guy in the spring came down and told them, don't you say a word. They never filed anything. Well, they can't file anything. That's where it becomes ridiculous. Because what they would have to do is the police would have to get a hold of me. The police would have to talk to me. And then the police would have to take it to the prosecutor's office. The prosecutor's office would have had to subpoena me with an attorney. We would have to go in front of a sitting judge to weigh it out to see if it's admissible. And then they would have to admit to stalking me and kicking my door in and date rape drugging me. They would have to go to jail, and it wouldn't be admissible because of the Constitution. See what I mean? That's how not funny this is. They made it all up. And they want these people to go to jail for them for being stupid. For taking their stupid money that they could have turned around and paid me off and I would have left. But that would have been human. You can't ask people with psychopath disorder to be human. Their part of their brain does not work right. They are born with that part of their brain. It doesn't work. That's why they're serial killers. If you actually do, I did research on it. This licensed psychiatrist was on a video. People that are psychopaths, they can feel happy, they can feel joy, and they can feel excitement, but they can't feel fear, remorse, or know right from wrong. And they can't feel regret. That part of their brain doesn't light up. You can't teach it to them because they don't understand it. That part of their brain don't work. So they can be happy, they can have joy, they can have excitement. So they can be happy and joyful. They're hurting you. They get excitement out of it. They don't know what's wrong. They can kill you. And they get a joy and excitement out of it. But they don't know what's wrong. And they don't understand that it's wrong. They don't understand it's wrong to drug you. They don't understand it's wrong to rape you. They don't understand it's wrong to publicly humiliate you. They don't understand it's wrong to cause a hate crime because that part of the brain is damaged from birth. It's genetic. That's why they're in jail. A whole lot of them because they're the serial killers. And they want these people to go to jail for them because they're stupid for helping wanted stalkers. I'll tell you what, when I play those videos down at Walmart, because they even bragged they paid off that agent, that they cut a deal August 10th or 11th, 22, Walmart 62 by the hair salon started following me around. Now they taped an audio in every aisle and everybody knows it. That they called Will and explained Michelle, and he set me up. And then I told you how mean he was, and he did it on a recorded line. And he was foolish and stupid doing it on a recorded line. And I turned this into the Department of Justice, and all those tapes go into them. And when they pull that recording of that agent speaking to me like that, they're gonna find him and they're gonna put him in jail. Because I tried to report Dave for what happened at Giant Eagle on September 21st, 18, where he had called me, "Where are you at? I'm buying something for dinner." I told him I got a flu shot. I sat down on a bench. I heard the voice, "I can't believe she's here." I go to walk off by the ATM. He comes up behind me. I'd stab you right here and now if it wasn't for that security guard. I look up, I see him, and I make a beeline right for that bank. And I'm like, I want to open an account. The crazy Pizza Hut lady comes over and she says, "I get paid to watch her." And she looks right at me. And the banker's yelling at her, "Lady, stay out of it." She lays her head down on the desk and she's like, "No," I'm trying to hide her face from camera. "Lady, I mean it. Stay out of it. It won't be worth it." And she's like, "No, I get paid to watch her." The guy that tried to kidnap me in front of Terry tried to carjack me when Dave took off and just threatened to knife me and walks off and around me. She walks off too. So either she called him, Dave called him, or Dave called someone to call him, or he could use the company phone. It's that easy. They could get him. And this is how sick this is. And I try to tell that agent, "You liar, you confess you're lying or I'll put you in jail." I'm like, "What?" He said, "I'll arrest you. Do you understand me? You say it or else." I'm like, "What?" Now I'm already scared for my life, realizing the 4 attempts on my life was them, his church and them. And I just had that happen. And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You say it or else." I was like, "Fine, whatever." That's badgering a witness, obstruction to justice, and tampering with evidence. You can't do that. My friend that used to work for the prosecutor, he can't talk to you that way. And they can't use that. That's illegal. You know, if he has a girlfriend, I don't know. And he's rambling. Some guy's rambling about it in the background. He said, "Stop, she doesn't know." I'm like, "What?" And I told him, I said, "Well, there was a guy down at Walmart. He had black hair, black eyes, and he had an eagle tattoo." He said, "What a shame to me." And he kept staring at me like a dead animal, like there was no soul in his eyes. He had people looking for him, though. He didn't care about him. Why? Because Dave called that guy. And he knew it. Okay? And then he's like, "I'll list you informant, but if you tell someone, I'll list you crazy and no man can help you," and give me all this big promises, right? And my friend that worked at the prosecutor's office, he's like, "He can't do that." He said, "You can tell anybody you want in any program, and they can't say a word to you. It's freedom of speech." He said, they can't tell you. They'll list you crazy. They can't say no one can help you. Nobody has that authority. He said that is a setup. It's called a backdoor deal. They set some victim up to be victimized or killed. And you can't do it. Because you know what happens when that happens? Someone tries to shoot you in the head driving. You can't pick up the phone and call 911. Do you know what happens? When that happens, you have stalkers coming at you. Well, I had investigators and police chasing them off, and I had them all around me by then from the Protect a Life case he opened and turned over the police. But, like on the gunshot night, when they paid those other ones off not to show up that were hired to protect me, and you're hiding and the idiot's screaming on the phone not to call anybody, and it's him and they're outside and nobody shows up and they think they can pay off the security that was hired. It was bad up there. That retired judge thought he could pay off everybody. That agent thought he set it up, that he wasn't going to help me and there was no way out. And they were laughing August 10th or 11th, 22, that we called Will and explained to Michelle and he set her up that no one will help her. And it's funny, no one will do the right thing and help her. And they're actually going along with it. It's a scam. And I was talking to my friend that used to work for the prosecutor's office. It is a scam. It's a scam he set up. They don't go along. He said it's actually illegal for them to go along with it. It is. They know they can't go along with it. Anybody, he said it got to the point, it's ridiculous after what that agent said to you. They can't go along with it. It's illegal. He can't tell you that they'll list you crazy if you tell someone, and they can't tell somebody that no one can help you. And he also said he can't make you say you're lying under a threat of arrest and then them using that. They can't do that either. That's badgering a witness. They can't do any of this. He said everything he said was illegal. The only thing that he did illegal is he listed me informant for you'll have a life of peace as an informant. No man will ever touch you. Nothing legally dated against you again. And only for you will we ever do this for. We'll always put it back to the traffic ticket, even when it's over. We'll always put it back as if it never happened. And only for you would we ever do this for. We'll always put it back as if it never happened for work in this case. It's a witness protection program. Different agency. And my friend that used to work for the prosecutor's office, he said it comes down to this too. Once you get in a protection program, they can't drop you for any reason. The failure to protect is abuse and misconduct. They can't say, good luck, I hope they don't kill you on your own. Good luck on your own. He said they have to leave you. They can leave you an informant and they have to protect you. Or they have to put you in a different protection program and they have to let you know before they move you. They cannot just drop you and say good luck on your own. They can never not protect you because someone tried to kill you. It's a witness protection program. You can never get out the rest of your life. It's just a different agency. And and failure to protect is abuse and misconduct. I seen on the news where somebody else, some agent had tried to tell them that they couldn't say something. They're suing them. And one of the things the newscaster said was, the FBI is one of the higher law enforcement. That agency better not back what that agent said, or they need to shut that agency down. They can't tell anybody that they can't say anything. They can't. It's freedom of speech. People forget we live in the United States of America. You have constitutional rights over you that the law enforcement cannot become the new Nazis. The only time they can tell you you can't say anything is during a sequester's drawer. During the drawer, so somebody can't bully you into a false statement under a threat or change your vote. See what I mean? And it's trying to keep the votes honest and untampered with. As soon as the jury is over, and then you can talk about the trial. But they only can do that during the trial. And those are the high profile ones. And it's just to keep it so nobody can tamper with the jurors. These people have lost their minds and they're taking money from stalkers and a retired judge doing it on his own with his dirty friends in that occult. There's nothing filed against me because they made everything up. I was found in that To cover his ass, he opened up a state case, had an officer talk to Dave. Karen around the house state case was open, protected custody for an informant, September 27th, 18. He turned it over to the police for protected life custody. Uh, uh, and it started September 27th, 18, and he walked away and left me up there to die. Someone needs to make it right. I was found innocent of everything in carrying around the house in 18. Like I said, my one ex-daughter-in-law got friends with the new girlfriend, Michelle, retired Judge Pete's daughter, had the kids make up some mean game of pretend, and all the police found them laughing and giggling how they were making everything up. Um, and the rest of my family spoke highly of me when I was with my ex-husband. So everything was wiped out in 18. They were never, like the one officer said, we were never interested in you. And even the main officer that went to Dave, the worst thing you ever did wrong, honey, is bend over and properly. We can wipe that one out June of 19 at Liberty House, share to the North Canton, Jackson Place, because they only made fun of the back of my knees. It was your grandma, what's on the back of your legs, varicose veins here, oh, Papa, I got changed. We were video chatting. That was one of the mean lies. From the wrong nightgown to seeing my tushy, and they only seen the back of my knees. And I had Dave verify I didn't own it. She made up all kinds of lies. She was fucking shit my family should be ashamed of. Mean jokes, as Maslin please put it. But the rest of my family spoke highly of me. And these people are just running around pulling a fraud scheme, having low lives say stuff to me out of their low IQ so that they go to jail for their crimes. I was found innocent of everything in 18.